The Midnight Man of Northbridge High. In the quiet suburb of Northbridge, there's an old, crumbling high school building at the edge of town. Northbridge High had been closed for years, replaced by a sleek new campus, but students and locals still whispered about the strange things that happened there in its final days. They talked about the Midnight Man. The legend began decades ago in the 1980s, when the school's night janitor Charles Halloway was found dead in one of the classrooms. The details of his death were never fully explained. Some said it was an accident, others claimed it was foul play. But one thing everyone could agree on: something about his death was not right. The story goes that Charles was a quiet, introverted man who had worked at Northbridge High for nearly 20 years. He spent his nights cleaning the empty halls, listening to the faint echoes of the day's chaos. Students would say that if you stayed late, you could hear Charles humming old tunes as he mopped the floors. But towards the end, Charles started to change. Teachers reported that strange things would be found when they arrived in the mornings: chairs stacked in bizarre configurations, lights flickering uncontrollably, lockers opening and closing on their own. Then there were the messages. Scrawled in chalk on the blackboards were cryptic phrases like, "The night watches you," and "Midnight is mine." One evening, a student who had stayed late for detention claimed to have seen Charles pacing the halls, muttering to himself as if in a trance. His eyes were wide and his face pale. When the student called out to him, Charles didn't respond. Instead, he turned sharply and vanished around a corner. That was the last time anyone saw him alive. Weeks after Charles's body was found, rumors started spreading that he had never really left. Students began to report sightings of a shadowy figure moving through the abandoned school after midnight. Those who dared sneak into the old building on a dare would sometimes hear footsteps echoing down the long, empty corridors, followed by a low, eerie humming. The legend says that if you go into the school at exactly midnight and stand outside room 306 where Charles was found, you'll hear him humming that old, haunting tune. But that's not the worst part. If you knock on the door 3 times, the door will slowly creak open, revealing a figure in the dark. He's known as the Midnight Man. According to the legend, those who come face to face with him are never the same. Some say he's still trying to clean the school, locked in an endless loop, his spirit trapped between this world and the next. Others say he's seeking revenge on the students who made his life a nightmare, luring them into the darkness. The few who have come back from the encounter claim they were chased by a shadowy figure with hollow eyes and a twisted smile, only escaping when they sprinted out of the building, heart pounding in their ears. The most unsettling part: the legend doesn't end when you leave the school. People who've seen the Midnight Man say they can still hear the faint hum of his song in the dead of night, no matter where they go. Sometimes when they're alone, they feel as though they're being watched, and if they stay up too late, they'll catch glimpses of a shadow in the corner of their room, standing silently, just watching. Those who knock 3 times rarely sleep soundly again, because the Midnight Man never forgets, and once he finds you, he might just follow you home. Please like and subscribe for more spooky stories.